Welcome to the greatest sports show in the world. Good week, everybody. What's going on? Long time no chat. I'm super stoked to get back at it. Welcome to the Nick and Co show. Well, that's what it's called for just a little bit longer. We're actually working on a rebrand right now, trying to rebrand the show towards a more BLPA, Beer League Players Association, a BLPA centric named show, so we can kind of be on brand. And also because Nick is not going to be just Nick and Co. We're on an active search for a new co-host. We'll talk about that, but we're basically anyone that wants to try to be a co-host, we're going to give it like a BLPA's Got Talent type thing. We're going to put you through the paces, see if you're a good fit on the show, see if you got what it takes to be a badass beer league podcaster. And yeah, so we're going to do that. So, but you can find us right now, Nick and Co show, Nick and A-N-D Co SHOW, all social media outworks, but we're also kind of crowdsourcing the name. Like we got the BLPA Big Show, the BLPA Cast, a lot of different ideas. So if you have an idea of what you think the podcast should be called, go. I mean, it's for you guys. It's for beer leaguers. That's why it was created. That's why we're bringing in beer leaguers to kind of host, to make it a pretty cool weekly thing. Hopefully we can get 4 or 5 different podcasts going so you guys can have something to listen to every day of the work week. But until then, we're just Nick and Co show. You can find me, Nicker Jones, on Twitter, the Nicker Jones on Instagram. Still haven't been able to find that bastard that took the handle Nicker Jones. But yeah, so other than that, I hope everyone's doing great. I know there's a lot of people around that are having like really different realities in terms of beer league and their sports playing. For me, example, up here in Calgary, not playing any sports at all. They've shut down basically everything. So we're just kind of sitting and waiting, playing a lot of NHL 21. My Be a Pro guy is basically... he's going to break Wayne Gretzky's record for sure. Like it's no doubt about it. He's going to break, 50 goals in 50 games or whatever Wayne did. I don't keep track of the biggest scumbag in NHL history. You have to look at like episode 2 to find out that reference. But a couple big things. First, I want to thank all the people that donate to us on Patreon. You guys are great. You guys allow us to do really cool things like giveaways. If you want to support the show, $2 a month. I mean, you can do it. If you think that the BLPA and this show gives you $2 worth of value, just throw us a couple bucks. We'd be glad to take it. Beer League Inc. Patreon.com/Beer League Inc. You can do that. We give away BLPA swag or tournament entries. We give away something every month to our subscribers or our patrons. So thank you guys very much. But there's 2 patrons I have to say a huge thank you to before we get on this episode. They are the Beer League gods, the biggest Patreon supporters we have. They are the backbone, the infrastructure of the BLPA. We try to get them on the show, but a lot of times they don't want any credit. So I'm just saying, Mr. Nall, Mr. Minch, we thank you. And now we bow our heads and we pray to the Beer League gods. We pray for more goals. We pray for more wins, more home runs, more greens in regulation. But most of all, we pray for more beers in the locker room, the parking lot, the clubhouse with the crew. So thank you guys very much. Nall and Minch, you guys are rad. Thank you guys very much for supporting us. We really do appreciate you. It's odd that through all of our giveaways, the Beer League gods with the most entries still haven't come up as a winner. That's kind of weird. I mean, we do have a bunch of patrons, but you would think the guys with the most chances would win one. We've been doing what we'd have like 8 or 9 giveaways so far. So you guys will get it for sure. All right. Huge announcement. Couple big announcements, really. The first big announcement, we've collaborated with a gentleman or company out of South Texas named Bend Industries. Now, I've known about this guy's artwork for many, many, many years. I've always really dug it. I think it's really cool. I think it's really rad. It's not for everyone, but it is rad for me, especially it's got like this old timey vintage, like Fallout video game vibe. And that's what I'm into. And so I approached him and said, hey, listen, you're making some hockey stuff. And, we have this group of beer leaguers I mean, they're 15,000 strong. They love cool stuff. So how about we collab? We come out, you design stuff for the BLPA, we'll sell it and it'll be cool. And he's designed, I think we have 8 designs out now and they're all really rad. I love them. I can't wait till mine get here. And you guys should check them out. beerleagueplayers.com. You should check it out. It's the Bend Industries collaboration up at the top there. Check out the merch. Check it out. It's really cool. Let people know that you're a beer leaguer and you're part of the BLPA. If you dig it, I'm glad we'd get along very well. And if you don't dig it, it's okay. We got other collabs coming. I know it's not for everyone, but you can't satisfy 100% of the people 100% of the time unless you're playing in a BLPA event. So the second big announcement is we have the BLPA bashes. Yes, that's right. The BLPA bash. Imagine this. Imagine this. You show up for a weekend of hockey or golf or softball. And not only do you get to hang out with your crew, your boys, your girls, your team, but every team in that tournament is now your boys, your girls, your crew. That's what we're going for with the BLPA bash. No sandbaggers allowed. We're actively trying to find a way to get sandbagging out of tournaments through rules, through embarrassment. Yeah, I'll embarrass someone that brings a dude that played college hockey and plays in a beginner level. I don't care. I'll embarrass the shit out of him. So imagine that. And then couple that with a huge parking lot party all day Saturday barbecue kegger. And you've got the BLPA bash. And you heard me mention all different sports. Some BLPA bashes are just hockey. We're doing one in Madison, Wisconsin. We're taking over the rink the whole weekend. The games will run 24 hours a day. We're just going to keep going. You never have to leave the rink. You get down playing, you go out of the parking lot, you hang out with the crew. Parking lot camping is very much wanted. That's what we want. We want to enable you to literally stay at the rink all weekend. But then we have tournaments like Laurel, Maryland, right in between DC and Baltimore. We've got the hockey rink right down the street. We got some ball fields, and just a couple minutes away from that, we got hockey. So not only can other people besides beer league hockey players come out, beer league ball players, beer league golfers, and then they meet. We're worlds colliding. We're connecting all sorts of beer leaguers. That's the whole plan. That's the whole plan. So we got a bunch of those coming up in addition to our draft experiences. I think when I looked the other day, we have I want to have 20 draft experiences in 2021 and probably 5 to 6 or 7 beer league bashes. It's going to be a busy 2021. We got to get that vaccine out rolling. We got to get things back to normal. And then we're going to have a hell of a lot of fun. Big event coming up, Austin, Texas. I just started talking to those guys about a date in the summer, the BLPA Fest. Ball, golf, hockey, soccer, lax, volleyball. And then in the middle of that, a music festival. It's going to be absolutely insane. You have the drafts, BLPA Bash, and then the BLPA Fest. It's going to be absolutely electric. Our events, our drafts are already electric. So we're upping the game. We're going to keep upping the ante. And I hope you guys join us for those. So I have an interview today. I'm trying to get back to kind of the interviews, especially with just me. It's way better to talk to people and run things by and have a back and forth. Personally, that's how I feel. I mean, I know that I would like to imagine people just love listening to me talk and they'd listen to just me, but I know the reality is that that's not true. And so I'm going to start doing some interviews, but like I said, we're still looking for a couple co-hosts. We're going to put people through the paces and kind of a BLPA's Got Talent. It's going to be really rad. But today I'm talking to Cara Di Bella, and I found Cara on TikTok. And so I'm going to talk to her in just a few minutes. But first, I want to go over something that literally just happened. I just posted this in the Beer League Players Association group. And a lot of people were asking me, tell us the story. What happened? What happened? So someone asked about Cellies. Well, for me personally, humble brag, I have executed the greatest beer league celebration in the history of the sport. That's not me being braggadocious. It's simply fact. So basically what happened is we were playing in a tournament. I scored on a goalie. I pulled a cheeseburger out of my pants. I ate it. I offered some to the goalie, and it was absolutely marvelous. And people asked me, tell us a story. Where'd that burger come from? Oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? Also, some people said I was just, fishing for attention, which is basically all I ever do. So, okay, good. You nailed it. So let's talk about the story. So as most of you guys know, I've been working in the hockey industry for years and years and years and years. Before I moved to Canada, I was in Oklahoma. I was building my own team, building my own tournaments, traveling to tournaments. So I've been doing this for a long, long time. I used to work for a company that, we travel around, do tournaments, much like my tournaments that we do now. Just those tournaments aren't as cool as mine, and they cost way more money. But we were playing in Atlantic City, and these weekends are pretty cool because obviously we all like the hockey. We all like playing the sport, but the coolest thing is that you just get to meet a whole bunch of new people, and you get to hang out, and, you get to make friends, and you get to tell jokes, and you get to build, jokes and stories. And this is one of those stories from one of those tournaments. So we're playing, and, usually at these tournaments, I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, like never stopping. If I'm not playing, I'm in other people's dressing rooms, shooting the shit, or I'm taking photos, or I'm taking video. I'm doing all sorts of things. That's why they call me the hardest working man in beer league. So, as I was doing this, someone said, "Hey, I'm going to McDonald's up the street. I know you can't get away. Can I grab you something?" I said, "Yeah, give me two McDoubles, extra onions," because that's what I like. And so he brought back the two McDoubles. And so what I'm doing, I'm walking around in my hockey pants, and the shells that were provided with this tournament had pockets. Makes it a little easy, especially like when I'm busy walking around the rink. And so I ate one of the cheeseburgers. I put another cheeseburger in my pocket and said, "Oh, I'll eat this later." Well, I got busy. I was doing photos, and I was getting dressed for our game, and I realized it was in there, and I pulled it out, and I'm like, this is, got an extra cheeseburger. And someone said, it'd be really hilarious if you did something with that, on the ice. And I said, "Oh, here's what would be funny is if I pulled it out after I scored a goal and I ate it, and the team just thought it was hilarious. Like, we had a lot of good laughs. Ha 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 ha." Here's the problem. I don't score many goals. So, we were hoping that it was going to happen. So we played the whole game. I did not score a goal. So I just ate the cheeseburger. I was hungry. So I ate the cheeseburger in between games. So no more cheeseburger. It's over. But before our last game there of the day, someone on my team came to me and said, "Hey, listen, I went to McDonald's. I was buying myself lunch, and I really want to see the Cheeseburger Celly. So I bought you another one." And so I was like, okay. So I put it in my pocket, and then lo and behold, first period, I score a goal. I'm able to pull the cheeseburger out, take a bite. I even offered it to the goalie. The goalie said no, and went on the day. So that's the story. So, yeah, we had pockets on our shells, and that's how I made it. So it wasn't just in my hockey pants, but I've since learned that since I did this, Celly, a couple people said, "Hey, I saw you do it. I tried to do it too." Some people said they had to tape the cheeseburger to the back of the pads in their pants and stuff. So that's basically the story. If you want to see the video, it is pretty funny. It's one of probably my favorite memories from playing hockey and doing something stupid and it actually working out, because for me, I don't score many goals, like I said. So whenever I say, "Oh, I'm going to score a goal to do this," the odds of it happening very, 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 very slim. So go check it out. You can take youtube.com/the BLPA. Go check it out, subscribe, rate, review. You should also do that for that podcast. I mean, the only way people are going to find more beer league content than us is if you subscribe, rate, and review. 5 stars only. If you're going to leave less than 5, fuck you. You're an asshole. Don't do it. Well, you can if you want to, I guess, but don't do it. All right. Now let's talk to Cara Di Bella. Okay, my interview skills are a little rusty. As you can see, there has not been very many shows in 2020. The focus for 2021 is the content, because it sucks being not able to play sports. And so there hasn't been a lot of content around. And usually when we're playing tournaments, we got pictures, we got stories, we got stuff we can come out. But until then, we're going to have to focus on other sorts of beer league content. So my goal, my aim, my attention for early 2021 is really to focus on content and building podcasts and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to start talking to creators, talking to hockey players, talking to other sports people. My interview skills are a little rusty. So that being said, I forgot to really introduce Cara on the front end. So this is Cara. Cara I found on TikTok doing an incredible outdoor beer guzzling TikTok video. So I reached out and I said, hello, can I interview you? You can find her on all social media platforms at Cara Di Bella, CaraDibella. Go check her out. And here's the interview. All right, guys, what's going on? I'm here with Cara Di Bella. She's a local Calgary beer leaguer, and I found her, oddly enough, on TikTok. I saw a video of her out in the beautiful, picturesque mountains of Western Canada, chugging beer and skating on a pond. And I was like, you know what? I need to chat with her. And then little did I know, as I reached out to chat with her, she would blow up, go viral, and then all the news outlets in Calgary would be reaching out to her. And she was gracious enough to come on our show. Cara, how are you doing today?
I'm so wonderful. Thank you so much for having me, Nick.
Oh, hey, no
Pleasure
problem.
to be here.
No problem at all. I love talking to beer leaguers, especially local beer leaguers, just because I've been so connected to that scene for a long time. So it's exciting. And here's what I knew it was going to be a good interview. Is probably 30 minutes before we started, we hooked up here. She said, so are we drinking beers on the show or what? And I said, yeah, give her. So, I mean, since you asked, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Whistler Forager, like their lager.
Oh, okay. I'm drinking, I can't pronounce it, Illumina ISA. And it's from Wild Rose. It's local, but the only reason I grabbed this is because of this.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, it's a dog playing hockey. So how can you not? And it's kind of I'm under the assumption of real men drink fruity drinks, and it's kind of a fruity beer, and I love it.
I love that. You know what? I think real men drink whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I don't have to explain why I have a little fucking umbrella in my drink. You know?
In fact, toss another one in there.
Yeah,
fuck
put
you.
Two or three. The explanation is I fucking like it. That's what the explanation is.
Yeah. Well, cheers.
Okay, cheers to you too. So let's first talk about the TikTok video. I mean, I want to introduce you, but that's what I'm interested in, the TikTok video. So kind of tell us, what was going on that day. It looked like you guys were having some fun out on the old ODR.
Yeah, let's get into it. So I had wanted to go to that ODR for a while. It's crazy. I've lived in Calgary for like 11 plus years, and I have never been to an ODR out here, like in the mountains, which is insane.
Yeah, because it's an hour. It's literally an hour away.
It's literally an hour, and I'm on the west end of town, so it's like 50 minutes. Like, it's wild. Anyways.
Bad Canadian.
So I wanted to go, so I just messaged a bunch of the girls on my team and said, who wants to go? And a few ended up going up there. So, and a couple days before, I had seen a girl named Megan post a very similar video. To be honest, I completely stole her idea. She posted something very similar, and I thought it was awesome. And I was like, that's my kind of girl right there, and I'm going to recreate this. So, went out there, and one of the girls on my team, I feel like not many people have TikTok at my age, so it's like kind of rare. So one girl on my team has it, and so her and I send them back and forth, and I sent her that saying, let's do it. And she was like, yeah, let's do it, this or that one too. So we ended up doing both of those. And I don't know, I do stupid stuff like that all the time on my Instagram. Like, I'm always shotgunning at the golf course, or like drinking out of my shoe. I got on Barstool Canada reposted me when I was at Waste Management in Scottsdale earlier this year before COVID hit, because I was drinking out of my shoes in the stand.
Wait, that's you?
Holder.
That was you? Oh my God. So wait, were you at Waste Management for that? There's a tournament, a beer league tournament that goes on around that. They do the Waste Management, a hockey tournament, and a concert. Like, it's all into kind of one. I guess you weren't there for that.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's like a big beer league tournament. I can't remember the name of it, but Kane Van Gate. I don't know if you know Kane Van Gate, but he's like this goalie guy that. Anyway, whatever. He's a fictional goalie that's hilarious, but he's part of it. And like Sauce Hockey, he's part of it, and Pavel Barber plays in it. And so, that's crazy. I didn't realize that was you. That's nuts. That
that was me. So I do dumb stuff like that all the time. If people, like, all my close friends are like, yeah, Cara, like, it's about fucking time. Like, you've been doing dumb shit like this for 10 years. Like, it's about time somebody caught on to it. So, yeah, that's kind of how it came to be. And then it just started blowing up, and people started reaching out to me, and I was like, this is kind of fun. I like this.
Isn't it weird, the things, like I saw one of your stories, you're like, out of all the things I've done, the thing that would catch on is me, chugging a beer.
Right.
Exactly. It's just the most asinine things. Like, and I was telling you, like, whenever I had the other podcast, and like our first big thing that caught on is one of our buddies was just in a locker room, and he sent us a video, and he called for a beer, and he grabbed it, opened it with a skate, and chugged it. And it went crazy. And I was like, why? Like, what about all my other content?
That's normal for us. That's like a Tuesday.
Yeah. What about the content like I spend hours creating that no one watches, right. But this is just ridiculous. And then there was another one, like at the Calgary Flames game, there was my buddy's friend had made a big Brad Marchand head, and he was walking through the crowd with a pink sock on his hand, licking people. And so he sent it to me and said, post this on your podcast. And like literally like TSN took it, Jay and Dan took it, and I was just like, holy shit, for one, you didn't ask permission, you sons of bitches. But two, why is this so fucking big? It's just crazy what actually catches on and what doesn't. Yeah,
that's a TSN turning point right there.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. And so what has it been like the last few days? Because I know you've been posting a lot of stuff about being on the news in local Calgary. Like, what's that been like? Has anything changed for you? Like, are you getting more than just interview requests? Like, are you getting like collabs and all that good stuff? Or
not necessarily. I asked. So I haven't even watched it yet, but I was on CBC News, I guess, tonight, and I recorded it. But I asked them. I was like, hey, do you guys need me to do anything on Battle of the Blades? I don't know if you watched that show, but have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen Battle Blades.
Yeah. So I was like, I love that show. Like, I think it's a cool, like, Canadian show, right? So, anyways, so I just asked them if there's anything I could do for that show. They were like, yeah, I don't think so. I was like, cool. You missed 100% of the shots you don't take, right?
You have to shoot your shot. Like, that's just basically the whole thing. Is it doesn't matter how asinine it is. The more asinine it is, probably the better chance that you're actually going to get a yes.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah. And like, you ask something 10 times, you might get a yes once, right?
But
so I don't know. I feel like, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. You feel like?
I was just going to say, I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are kind of like one-hit wonders and do like something funny or, post something, and then a lot of people start following them, and then they just don't do anything. Mm-hmm. And so I feel so much pressure to not be that person. So I keep like posting stuff, but I really think that I'm just going to have to go to the ODRs and just do dumb shit like this, like every weekend, and just post it just to keep it going.
So what about this? I mean, me personally, maybe they follow me, whatever, but I have a group of like 15,000 beer leaguers, a shit ton of beer leaguers. And right now, starving for content. Like, I literally had to go in today before, like, I've spent the last 2 hours online telling people, hey, we have to stop having the argument about should goalies pay. And we also have to stop having the argument about ranch versus blue cheese on your chicken wings, because this is it's ridiculous. Well, are you a ranch person or a blue cheese?
Ranch.
Oh, good girl. But and so I had to
pass the vibe check. Hey.
Yeah, vibe. You're in. But what about beer league Battle of the Blades? It's only beer leaguers.
Oh. Fuck yeah.
And we just do crazy shit and post stuff. I already have a whole audience for you.
Let's do it.
Perfect. We need
to get some figure skaters to help us.
Yeah, for me, like, I'm not good at hockey. Like, it's weird that I say I'm a pro hockey player because I get paid to host events and stuff, but I'm not Canadian. I'm an Oklahoman. I married a Canadian. She forced me into the game, and so I didn't start skating till real late in life. So I'm not very good. But I really try hard. I really try hard. And so I just, we have
the same attitude. I like that.
Yeah. So, and I make an idiot of myself on the reg. So it's basically a match made in heaven. But I think that would be, I mean, if you want to put cool stuff out and say, hey, I'm doing this for the BLPA, now laugh at me. Cool. I'm down for it. I think Battle of the Beer League Blades would be pretty damn cool. But let's talk about you and hockey. You said you're obviously Canadian. Where are you from in Canada?
Mm-hmm. I'm from a small town called Nelson in British Columbia, but I live in Calgary.
Okay. How long have you been in Calgary?
Since 2009, so about 11 years now.
Okay, and what's your hockey playing history?
Yeah, it's not that expensive. I'll tell you that much. So I think I didn't start playing hockey until I was in, grade like 5 or 6, which was really late for a Canadian to start playing hockey that late, right? I knew how to skate. Like I could skate well. I just never really played. So my younger brother's like 3 years younger than me. So I joined his team and just learned the game. My dad was our coach. We won the championship that year. And then I went to my appropriate age group for the next year. And then I just played, like the town I'm from, there was a girls team, but I just played boys hockey my whole life. And then after I graduated high school, I played field hockey in university. So I went to Lindenwood University in St. Louis.
Okay, I know they have a really good men's hockey program, like really good.
Oh, do they? I think it was like pretty mediocre when I was there, but really? That was like 10 years ago. So.
Well, I'm also comparing it to like the University of Oklahoma hockey. So I know that they were good in their division, like ACHA Division II.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyways, so I went there for a year, and then I transferred back to U of C and played field hockey at U of C for a year. And then just played beer league after that. So I don't have a super extensive hockey background, but my whole family plays hockey. Like both of my sisters played D1 in the States. One of my sisters played at Cornell, and one played at Colgate.
Okay.
Both in New York. So big hockey family. So I've always been around it, always played it. I just never took it to like a super competitive level.
So, okay, so let's talk about beer league in Calgary. Like I asked you, you play in SAHA, which is Southern Alberta Women's Hockey Association. I think that's the whole name.
Yep.
Do you play? That's all women, but do you ever play co-ed? Because I know you played with guys when you were younger, or boys, I guess. But
I don't really anymore. Like I do if we were to go out to the lake and play some shinny. Of course I would. But I just play girls now.
So is there any reason why you don't play co-ed, or is it just kind of it's just not what your team does, or you don't want to go look for a co-ed team? Yeah,
like I don't know. I can play twice a week with my girls team, and I'm great friends with everyone, and it's, good hockey. So this just hasn't really been a need to. Like, I'm not opposed to it whatsoever. I would absolutely play, and like a few of my friends will rent out the ice every couple of Fridays or whatever. So I'll go play with them. The company that I work for does like an annual hockey tournament in BC every year. So it's a co-ed team. There's only like 3 or 4 girls on the team, and then we go out to Kelowna and play with the boys and stuff. So not opposed to it whatsoever. I just don't, I guess, really need to find a co-ed team because I have the girls team here. Okay.
Well, I know you're not doing co-ed, but there's been a topic in the Beer League Players Association that's kind of went around. And so I want to get your take on it because you are a female. So it's always good to have a female perspective. Mm-hmm. Co-ed locker rooms. In terms of changing. And now listen, I've been in a locker room with a team that's mainly female, and that shit's way crazier than a co-ed locker room. Like the ladies, it's asinine what they do in there. But
okay, but why were you in that dressing room though?
Well, I mean, because we had like 8 females and like 5 guys on the team.
Oh,
and so it was full co-ed. And like I know, like even some of these girls, like I'm not going to mention names, but they play in your league, but lower divisions, and they're a hoot. They're incredible. They're fun. I never stop laughing, but there's also a lot of shit that goes down in those locker rooms. But what is
yes, sir, there is.
So I'm pretty sure like if an all female locker room is probably way more entertaining and crazy than an all male locker room. But what are your thoughts on co-ed and things like changing together in a co-ed environment? And hold on 1 second before you answer it. I just got to turn off my fan because I think I'm hearing it in my mic. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, now go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a really good question. I've never really thought of it. I just feel like, I don't know. So when I was in high school, say I was playing boys hockey, and there was me, maybe one other girl on my team ever. And so when we'd go to like super small towns with like dinky ass rinks, and there wasn't a female dressing room, we'd have to get changed in there. And it was just kind of awkward because like all the guys would just like, you know, you go to the bathroom to like put your, like your, what's it called? Oh my God, I'm blanking.
Just your under
like
base layers, cup,
yeah,
jockstrap. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Like your, fuck, I can't think of it. Anyways. Yeah, to like put your gear on so that you're not like changing naked. And I'd have to do the same thing, obviously. And then like you can't really shower after and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I'm the first one to get naked in a dressing room. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, whatever. I feel like it might be awkward with guys though, just because everyone, like, when you're with girls, like, same with guys. Like, you don't look, but like you still see. You know what I mean?
For sure. You're not in there meat gazing, but you're seeing some meat for sure.
Right. Like you're not blind. Like you're not looking specifically, but you're not blind, right? So, yeah, I think it would be weird. What's your take on it?
No, for me, I mean, I play so much hockey. Like, I've been around the world. I've been around the block, Cara. Okay, and
okay.
I mean, for me, it's 6 of one thing. I mean, I've seen boobs before. Girls have seen penis, and like you said, no one's like staring. And maybe there are creepy dudes. And maybe even creepy girls, I don't know. But I mean, for me, it's just like, as long as you're not there flaunting it. But you know, there are those teams, probably the same with females as males. But there's the naked dude that always is there. He just walks around. It's like he wants you to see it. Sometimes he's got stuff to be proud of, and sometimes he doesn't. But but the thing is that there are always those people. But I'm kind of under the, like, I'm not in there staring at females that are getting changed, and you know, I don't think they're staring at me either. So for me, it's 6 of one, half a dozen. It's really what you're comfortable with. What I was so alarmed about is people saying it's not me that cares. It's not me, but it's my wife or it's my boyfriend. Like they care. They care, and I'm like, well, like that's really like, obviously age and maturity and all that stuff comes into it. But if I've always said, well, if you're in a relationship where they're so out of shape that there is a naked person, you know, within 20 feet of you, well, you know, that's probably not the greatest relationship.
Totally. No, yeah, that's a good point. And like you said, like changing, you know, whatever, like I wouldn't give a shit to get undressed in front of dudes, like whatever. But like you said, it even like what I was kind of thinking when you first started saying that, and like, I don't care, but like, there's going to be one person in there, at least 2 people that are like, kind of creepy or really uncomfortable with it or whatever, right?
For sure, so for sure. And it's not like,
I mean, if we ever get to a point where like gender is just fluid and no one cares and like everything's great in the world, which I don't think we ever will, then great. But I just think with the way it is, it would just be like so awkward.
Yeah, and you know, like you talk about showers, like they're still in co-ed dressing room, like girls still shower, guys still shower, but there's etiquette. Like usually they let the females go first and get done, and then the guys go in after that. But
right,
you know, I guess it's just one of those things where you have to be comfortable in your own skin, but you're right. You don't want to make other people uncomfortable. And you know, I've had some creepy players on my team, so I know how that goes sometimes. Especially
and girls are creepy too.
Yeah,
girls are creepy too.
But I kind of feel, Cara, like I kind of feel like being a female way harder in terms of the creepy level than being a dude. Yeah. Right? Like that's when my wife got pregnant, the one reason I didn't want a girl is because I was like, dudes are creepy. They're just creepy. And at least if I have a boy, I can teach him how not to be that way. Right. And so so it's always since like, I'm like, okay, we have a co-ed dressing room. How can we make sure that they feel welcome and they don't feel creeped out, knowing that there's probably at least one creep on our team. Right. So
totally.
All right. Well, I mean, let's talk about the TikTok video we've touched on a little bit, but I want to kind of describe what it was. And basically, it's just the basic one knee celly after you sniped a Gino, but it was across the ODR while she was turned and opening a beer with her skate blade, all in one fluid motion, like you'd done it before.
I haven't.
That was your how many times did it take you to get the video?
I took 2 videos. Okay. And that was the second one.
Okay. Don't tell everyone. Just say that was my first time.
Well, you know what? I'm not out here lying. Like I'm not out here trying to flex on something that's not the truth.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, I'll be honest.
I guess if someone asks you, tell them, right? But you don't have to be like, oh, I tried this 6 times. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like when you ask me, I'll tell you. But yeah, I was trying originally to, because I think I mentioned I saw this other girl, Megan, post a video, and she like just skates towards the camera and she just slides on her knees, and then she kind of like gets her feet out from under her and cracks it on her skate, and then it's just like kind of laying there, which I think hers is better than mine. Truly, I do. And so I was like, wait, okay, so this will be funny. Like maybe I'll just like bring my leg up and just crack it on my skate, and then just go right to the camera and do it. But I'm not flexible because I play hockey, and like lifting your foot up while like hitting the bottom of your foot, lost my balance. So I was like, okay, definitely not going to do that. So it's like, how can I do something like cool? And the girls were like, why don't you just like slide on one knee and then like crack it behind you? I was like, hey, there's an idea. So tried it, and it's a bit wobbly, but got her done, you know?
Yeah, I thought it looked great. Like I said, it caught my eye because, I've lost so many hours to TikTok. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get in bed early tonight, 11:30. I get in bed and I'm just kind of scrolling through there, and then 2 a.m. and I'm like, holy shit. Like what am I doing with my life right now?
I know. Have you seen those videos on TikTok that are like, hey, these videos will be here tomorrow. You should go to bed. I'm like, right.
Yeah,
thanks.
I'm like, how did they know I'm watching them right now? But yeah.
Right?
And so I was scrolling through and I saw it and I was like, oh man, that is absolutely rad. I loved it. And, I think it's a cool thing. Like do you have any other video ideas?
This or that one that we did.
That was a good one too.
Like that day was good. It got a decent amount of like views and stuff. Definitely not as much as the shotgunning one, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going to BC tomorrow for like a month for Christmas because I can work from anywhere. So I'm just going to go there and hang out with my family. And I don't think it's cold enough there to be like skating on ponds and stuff. If it is, I'm going to have to figure something out, but I don't know. I'm going to have to. Yeah.
Well, I was wearing shorts today in Calgary. So we're talking about not being cold enough. It's like, it's
wild.
In American degrees, it was 61 degrees today.
Yeah.
So it was what?
It's crazy.
14, 15. It was nuts today.
It's so nice. It's so nice. Nick, what do you think I should do? What's your idea for me?
I mean, I'm all in on the beer league battle of the blades for sure.
Okay.
God, now you put me on the spot. I'm supposed to put people on the spot. I'm not supposed to get put on the spot.
I know. Well, I'm also a podcast host, so I can sit around.
Yeah, man, you got it. I don't know. I mean, it's such a. My next question, maybe this is it. My next question was, what other sports do you play? You play hockey, you play field hockey, but beer league isn't just hockey. Beer league's for everyone, all people and all sports. So maybe we're talking about branching out. Like I see some golf videos on your Instagram and all that good stuff.
Yes, I'm a big golf guy. I love golf. I help run a women's golf program actually here in Calgary too. It's called Golf and Tacos. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Nope, but I like both of those things.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of it's like a pun because it's like a women's golf program. So it's like tacos.
I like all of it. I like all those things.
It to you. Yeah, love that. Great. So a couple of my girlfriends were the co-founders of it. They started it 3 or 4 years ago. It's basically just group lessons for women, just because I feel like golf is getting a lot more popular in the past, say, 5 years for women. But a lot of girls and women don't know how to golf. So basically they created this group lessons program where depending on your skill level, you sign up for like the mild, medium, or spicy group. And then, it's like a 5-week program. So it's like 4 weeks of lessons. And then you do 9 holes with the pro, and they cater in tacos. And it's an unreal program. It made me so much better at golf. It's crazy. So yeah, big golf guy.
I'm not good at golf, but I do enjoy it. I basically enjoy doing anything where you can drink beer. And you don't really need skill. You don't need, but I want to get you out to one of our tournaments. So we have a company called the Tournament Company, and we travel around the world. Like I've done tournaments in Tokyo. I've done them in Salzburg, Austria. Since I've went out on my new one, I spent 100 days in the United States this past summer, traveling around hosting tournaments, dodging COVID. I just bought an RV so I didn't have to deal with people, and I drove around. Like it was crazy, but they're called draft experiences. Okay. You don't need a team. You just show up. We make draft rounds based on skill, and then we make the teams by beer chugging contest. And then and then
Sign me up,
yeah,
Nick.
and then you play 5 games over the next 2 days. So it's a lot of hockey and it's a lot of beer, and they're really rad. And the reason I brought them up is because I just signed our first deal to do a golf one of these where you don't need a foursome. You just come and we'll figure out I haven't nailed down how we'll do the draft like we do the hockey one, but I will figure it out. But then we play, 3 rounds over 2 days and have a good time. And so, but I think definitely we got to find a way for a cool golf chug for TikTok.
Oh, I've done so many of those. You got to use a tee.
Yeah, you do
shotgun.
chug a lot of beer. I've seen your videos for sure.
I do. I know. I'm so embarrassing.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, I know we're talking about creepy guys, but there's a lot of guys in the Beer League Players Association, and they would probably like a girl that's loves sports and chugs beer. Are you single?
Yes, I am. Yes,
See?
sir.
There you go. Now don't be creepy to her, guys. I just told her there's probably one creepy guy in our group, but there you go. You're searching for the dream. You're looking for the chick that loves sports. You're looking for the chick that chugs beer. I got her right here. I found her. The unicorn. Cara the unicorn.
Everyone.
So yeah. So I mean, what's one of the craziest locker room stories you can tell me?
I was thinking about this today because I was like, oh my God, I don't think I have any crazy locker room stories. Like I don't know. But I was talking to one of my friends that I used to play hockey with, and she's like, well, tell them this story. I was like, right. So it's not that crazy. However, a couple of years ago, I was actually playing in Tier 2 Saha at the time. And there's a lot of very interesting people in the other tiers, is a nice way to say it. So our goalie at the time, I think she was a single mom. I didn't know her well. Anyways, so she'd always bring her kid to games. And he usually would just sit outside our dressing room and then be in the stands watching our games. But this one game, he was in the dressing room with us, and he's kind of in the corner. So I didn't really pay attention. I don't know. I'm the team I'm on now, the girls call me a great dressing room girl because I don't really score a lot, don't really help out much at all on the ice, but just the social aspect of the team is what I'm really,
you're me. You're me on your team. I don't score. I don't need to score. Big locker room guy. I do a lot of my work while I'm sitting on the bench, just making people laugh. That's what the team needs. A team needs us.
Everybody loves to be around us, but they don't really pass us the puck. You know what I mean?
I mean, and I get it. I've missed so many of them that why would they, right?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
At this point in my life, when I when I'm on the ice with guys and I lock eyes with them, I say, no, don't pass it. Just keep going. Just keep going.
It's funny, they're on 2-on-1s, and I'm like, don't fucking pass me the puck. Anyways.
They always do too, assholes.
They always do. I know. The last time that happened, I passed it back. It was beautiful, and I didn't fuck it up, so it was very nice. I'm not bad. I'm just not really good.
No,
That's it. I'm just very average.
You're an average beer leaguer. You'd much rather let someone else do all the scoring and make other people laugh. I get that. I get that. I'm down with that.
So anyways, as I mentioned, I'm kind of I just don't really give a fuck and just get naked in the dressing room all the time. So I don't know, it's just changing like usual and got into the shower and whatever. I got out, and our goalie and her son had left at that point, and a couple of my close friends on the team, they were like, Cara, was that weird? And I was like, what? I was so oblivious. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? They were like, her son, that kid was just screaming at you the entire time in the shower. And I was like, oh my God, am I going to get arrested or something? What's happening here?
You now have a record because you were showering in front of, how old was he again?
Oh my gosh. Definitely too old to be in a women's dressing room.
Do you think he was teenager? 13?
No, but maybe 10 to 12.
Yeah, so he just knows for sure.
It was really awkward.
What an education.
Now that I think about it back. Ooh. I know.
Yeah, but why? See, this is why goalies are weird, because they do shit like that. Why would she even bring her son?
Goalies are so weird.
Hey, do you make your goalie pay?
Have you ever met a not weird goalie?
No. Now that I think about it, no, yeah. They all have, but I say that because I also am weird. I'm just not a goalie. And so I do a lot of weird things, but goalies do some really asinine things. Like they have a different way of viewing the world, and it's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. Do you make your goalie pay league fees?
I don't know. I don't manage our team. I pay and I show up and I make people laugh. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's the big thing right now.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the big thing right now. Do you think goalies should pay to be part of the team?
I've honestly never, I don't know the arguments on either side.
Yeah. I mean, I know, but it's been spreading like wildfire in the group, and goalies obviously don't want to pay because
why not?
They pay a lot of money for gear, and the other argument is, well, if you don't have us, you can't play a game. True, 100%. And then on the other side, the players are like, well, it's, you chose to play that position, you chose to play to buy that gear. You're part of the team. We're adults, all that stuff. So it's been a crazy week in the BLPA because everyone's angry on edge. I know a lot of it has to do with quarantine and not getting to play a lot of hockey. I haven't been on the ice since Austin, Texas, 1st of October. So I'm getting itchy myself, but maybe I need to get out to the ODRs and do that.
Yeah, no kidding.
TikToks.
We should go.
Yeah, I'll make a TikTok with you.
Hey, let's do it.
Right.
Okay, now that you explain it, I feel like goalies should fucking pay. Like, that's my opinion. I'm just gonna say it because guess what? If you don't want to pay, we'll find somebody who wants to pay to play. Like, somebody wants to pay. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey, I get you. And listen, I see both sides. And people say I'm straddling the fence, but I've went on the other side and said they should definitely pay. And I've also been on the side where I said they shouldn't pay. And so I always find myself gravitating back towards the middle because I know that in some locales, there's not as many goalies. But in Calgary, there's a shit ton of goalies, right?
Yeah.
What really gets me, and I'll always say this, like, I don't care if your goalie's free, if he's not. But if he comes into my dressing room and says, you're paying for me or I'm not playing, see ya. Yeah,
I just don't like that attitude. Like,
exactly.
Yes, you're a goalie, but like you chose to do that, and like you're not better than the rest of us.
We had a sub goalie come out one time. He said, yeah, I'll sub, I'll be there. And he came to the rink and he said, I'm not going to play and suit up unless you book me on this goalie rental app and pay me to be here. And at that point we had to, because we didn't have anything. But I was like, holy shit. But, like I said, I get it. Like, goalie pads are expensive. We do need a goalie. I get that too. So I get both sides. And it just, the part that I hate is that everyone has different opinions, which is cool, but we haven't evolved so much as a human species to realize that we can still be friends even if we have different opinions. You don't have to hate.
Absolutely.
You don't have to hate someone because they don't see everything in exactly your point of view. And that's where I really want to get with. And it obviously this is a big thing because of just the US election and how that went down. And like, if you have a Republican friend or a Democratic friend, you have to hate your friend because of that. And it's just like, holy shit. Like, what, why? Like, let's just be buddies and you believe what you want to believe. I'll believe what I want to believe. And you know what? We can talk about it without getting mad at each other. And if we are going to get mad, we just don't talk about it. What's the big deal?
Totally. I agree with that. And like, even with this video going viral, right? So almost every single comment has been like, so nice, complimentary, like, like so Canadian, like all the, like people are just proud of Canada, all those things. There's like a few people that are just like fucking assholes. And I'm like, you just woke up and you're like, oh, I'm just going to like go onto TikTok and just be mean to people. Like, that would suck to feel like that every day. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, damn, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. I like I said, I mean, being a female, for sure, you're probably getting a way more, dick response. Like, just like you always hear people that like, especially even in our group, like we've had to remove people that like, oh, girls hockey doesn't matter. It's just like, it's just, it's just like, I don't understand like that. But, and then also the people full of hate. And I mean, just the other day, like I posted something in our group and someone got pissy and started, talking down to me because I was bald. And I'm like, well, I'm not bald. I'm losing my hair, but why the hell does that matter? Like, why is it negative? It's
not like you can choose it either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I could get hair plugs, but I haven't, the website hasn't exploded. Podcast hadn't made enough money to afford those hair plugs. I'm not Dave Portnoy yet. All right.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice, eh?
Oh, yeah. Hey,
one bite. Everybody knows the rules.
Isn't it crazy? Like the stuff he does is hilarious. And that's what, when I was doing this other podcast that I told you, it had, it had 5,000 to 7,000 downloads every week. And we were rolling along and people would always say like, well, hey, why don't you be like spitting chiclets? Why don't you be? And I'm like, well, one, I wasn't in the NHL. So, how could I be spitting chiclets? Two, I don't have a $500 million company paying my marketing bills. And three, between me, Bissonnette, and Ryan Whitney, only one of us is still playing hockey, and it's not them, it's me. So what do you want me to do?
Right.
So, but other than that, I mean, how about you tell us a little bit about your podcast? I should have had you plug it at the front, but just tell people about your podcast, what it's about, and where they can find it.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. So it's called That Pretty Good Podcast. You guys can find it anywhere that you listen to podcasts. So Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all that good stuff. I started it. I had been sitting on the idea for a few years. I've always felt like I'm pretty good at a lot of things, like I'm pretty good at most sports.
Not a big deal.
I'm pretty good at my job. Not a big deal. And like, I'm just pretty good. Like, yeah, that sounds conceited. I'm pretty good at so many things.
Good. You're good at things. Good. Hey, congratulations, Cara.
Hey, thanks. But I'm like, and I just feel like I've always kind of wanted to work for myself and build something. But I'm like, but what though? Like, what am I so passionate about that I want to just go after and like dedicate my life to? Like, I don't know. And so when I talk about that with people, everyone kind of feels that way. And so it's either, yeah, me too, or it's, yeah, I felt that way. And that's why I created XYZ, like the companies that they've built. And so I thought, okay, well, why don't I talk to the people that have gone through it and have taken a risk and kind of leapt into uncertainty, and just talk about their stories, not necessarily talk about their business today, but like, I want to know the struggles that they had. I want to know the successes that they had. I want to know the setbacks that they had. I want to know like just what that process was like for people like me who want to try something, but just don't know really where to start, or are starting something and maybe aren't foreseeing certain obstacles kind of thing. So, it's kind of, I think there's like maybe 15 or so episodes. I'm going to release 5 more early next year that I've already recorded. I interviewed Rebecca Johnson, actually. You'll like that
nice.
One. Yeah, she'll be coming out pretty quick here. So that's what the podcast is.
Okay. And do you want to give people like your personal like TikTok so they can check that out, and maybe your Instagram, or you don't have to if you don't want to?
Hi. Of course I want to.
Okay.
I'm trying to get internet famous here. I'm just kidding. So both my Instagram and my TikTok are at Cara Di Bella, Cara with a C.
And that's CARADIBELLA?
Hey,
Nailed it.
Nice.
Nailed it.
Yes, sir. Crushed it.
All right. Well, I do want to get you seem pretty social media savvy, and you're pretty entertaining and funny in our short time together.
Thank you.
I've really enjoyed chatting with you. So I got to ask your opinion. I've told you kind of about the old podcast and how we're getting this podcast going. And I've been looking, I've been on a hunt for co-host, right? And so I decided that what I want to do is I just wanted to kind of open it up. I wanted to open it up to people and say, hey, if you want to be involved, let's figure it out, right? I mean, you're a beer leaguer, I'm a beer leaguer. Let's see if there's some chemistry there and see if you have what it takes. So I'm thinking about doing like a America's Got Talent, but it's like BLPA has talent or something like that. And I want to have people on. So what do you think? Like and I bring this up because I saw your 12 days of Cara Dares or something online. Yes. And so I'm like, what kind of things should I make these potential co-hosts do to kind of put them through the paces to be a part of a show? Like to put them through the vibe check? Yeah. Like what? Yeah. Or what do you mean? Yeah, exactly. The vibe check, or what? Oh, that's funny. Well, first of all, they have to be able to shotgun in under 5 seconds. Oh, for sure. Listen, you're not going to come on here and be some scrub beer chugger. That's for sure. All right. Okay. So shotgun. What else? I feel like. Is this like hazing? Yeah, it is. University hazing? Listen, I can't say that because hazing's not allowed anymore, but yeah, it's hazing for sure. I know. Like you bust out the paddles or what? No. Yeah, they definitely have to do, so I'd say a drinking test, like some type of like physical test, and then maybe like
put your brain to the test or something. I don't know. I don't know.
You mean like feats of strength, like on Festivus on Seinfeld?
I don't watch Seinfeld.
Oh no! Well, you said something.
I'm a Friends guy. I watch Friends, not
Listen,
Seinfeld.
I do like Friends too, but you said you were talking about your age earlier, so I thought maybe you were closer to like the Seinfeld age. But you know, I didn't get like hardcore into it, but I do like the Festivus episode. So we got the beer chug, we have a physical challenge, and then we have a mental challenge.
That's kind of, I don't know. That's just off the top of my head.
We should work together and do this. And then you could be like,
come up with something?
You could be like one of the judges. You know,
okay,
so
sure. Oh my gosh, I would love to do that.
So you can be a judge. And I'll actually, since you're kind of the first interview as we're getting going, we're actually doing this competition now. People are putting in beer league jerseys. It's called Sweater Fest. And all they have to do is design a jersey. They submit it to us, and then we're going to do like some voting. And at the end, the 5 are going to go to a panel, and the panel is going to vote on who's the winner. And then we're going to give them a free set of team custom jerseys. And so
amazing.
If you want to, you can be one of the special judges. We'll say,
I would be so honored.
We'll say
I would love to.
TikTok viral sensation, Cara Di Bella. Judging jerseys.
Hey, it's me. I feel like I'll be like a one-hit wonder. I'll be like nobody probably by tomorrow, but you can't take it back. You're recording this,
you're somebody to me now, right? Now you're my special. You're my special judge.
Thank you.
And hopefully we can have you on some more. Maybe we could just do like a Cara's Corner. You could be like Coach's Corner, like Don Cherry, and then you're just a segment.
Oh my gosh, let's do
Perfect.
it.
See,
Cara's Corner.
Yeah, there we go.
I love that.
Tell me about the dares though, because I've kind of been watching them, and I know like your friends are daring you to do things. You're doing them, and they're donating to charity. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. Okay. So have they made you laugh? Is my question.
Yeah, the one with you walking around, or not walking, rolling around the grocery store. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I don't know if have you seen that guy on TikTok that wears like the 80s top, and he does the rollerblade, and he turns around and does like slow motion, and he like that. I love that guy. Love that guy. And I wish I know I can skate backwards, but I don't think I could do it as fluidly as that guy. I would love to be able to do that.
I'm going to send you, after this is done, I'm going to text you a video, because we took a few videos, and I posted obviously to this or that one, but then my girlfriend posted that one of us when we were, I pointed and she put her sunnies down, and we were like moonwalking backwards on the ice. So I'll send that one to you.
I love that guy. I wish I knew his name, but that guy just, every time I see him, I'm like, that's the epitome of cool right now to me. Right?
Yeah.
So it's
totally,
Elvis Presley and that guy.
So, Elvis.
Oh, I love Elvis. Like
that's he's your main man,
my dude.
or
He's
what?
my dude. Like I grew up, my grandmother, late grandmother, I mean, she passed away, but I can remember growing up and her crying. Like, and this is like 20 years after his death. And an Elvis movie would come on, she'd start crying about, oh, it's such a waste. I loved him. She's like, I was physically in love with this guy. And I've just always been an Elvis fan. And, when I was younger, okay, it was cool. But I went like on this road trip. I drove from Oklahoma City, my hometown, to our Nashville tournament. And I stopped in Memphis, and Elvis was fucking cool. There's just no two ways about it. The dude was just
cool, really cool,
right? Like his hair, his clothes. Totally. And I'm like, fuck, I would wear those clothes now. As a matter of fact, there's like a jacket, and I've wanted it since I was a little kid. Like, it's like a blue jacket, 2 racing stripes. And I was like, if I ever see that jacket, I'm buying it. And I saw it there and I bought it. And there's probably a Photoshop of me where I combined us side by side and I just put my face on Elvis's body. But like, he's just cool. And I think that guy, the Blade Gang guy, I think that guy's cool. I just want to look cool is all, right? So
nice. I think don't we all? I mean, yeah. Well, except for me during these dares. The point is to not look cool. So the way that they started was obviously when COVID hit in March. So I live by myself, bored as fuck on a daily. And like I said, I've kind of always done stupid shit on Instagram for my friends. And I just had an idea, and I was like, what if I just what if I get people to dare me to just do random things? I was like, I'm going to regret this because some of them are probably going to be so outrageous, but like, fuck it. I'll just choose which ones I want to do and we'll see what happens. And so I just went on my Instagram stories and said exactly that. And was like, so put your dares in here. Let me know what you want me to do and we'll see. So I started doing them. And then as I was doing them, people were like watching more and more and more. And I'd post like these long ass stories and like maybe 50 people less would watch the end than they did at the beginning. So like the engagement was so high. I like reenacted, remember that show Love is Blind?
Yes.
I like reenacted, somebody dared me to reenact a scene from it. So I did it and I like put makeup on with like a beard for the one guy. It was so fucking stupid, Nick, like so stupid. And I just had insane like anxiety when I posted these because I was like, I'm so embarrassing. These are so embarrassing. Like, oh my God, I'm not going to have any friends after this. This is ridiculous. And then like within 5 minutes, the replies start coming in like, this is so fucking funny. Like, oh my God. And so it kept me entertained because every day after work, I had something kind of fun to do and to plan. And then it kept everybody that follows me just laughing and entertained too. And so I hadn't done it for a while, but a few people have been like, can you bring it back? Can you bring it back? And so I was thinking about it. And then when this video went viral, I was like, okay, there's more eyes on me. There's more people. So let me spread a little Christmas cheer to a few more people, put a few smiles on a few more people's faces. So, yeah, today was day one. Tomorrow will be day two. They are going to get increasingly embarrassing for me. So you're welcome.
Have you had any like just absolutely like asinine ones or creepy ones
yes.
or care
yes.
to share any of those?
Yes. Fucking guys, man. This one guy's like, oh yeah, I dare you to post 11 days of like bra and underwear photos. And then the 12th one, nude. I'm like, bro, it's called fucking OnlyFans. Go there. Like, don't bother me on Instagram. It's not that I have an OnlyFans. I didn't mean that.
We do. Onlyfans.com/theblpa. Really tasteful sports photos. There's actually no photos. I made it as a joke. And then now people are like, how do you want us to subscribe? There's no content on here. And I'm like, listen, bud, if I'm going to work, I'm going to get paid up front. So you pay me, I'll go to work.
Right,
you
right.
know?
It's so funny. The amount of money that people make on there, like, I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. You know what I mean? Like,
see, like that's one of the benefits of being like, no one's going to pay me to see me naked. Right. And I just feel like there's,
hey, you know what? You never know.
You're right. I never know. They probably would. Okay. Let's just be honest. No, but I just feel like that avenue just and it's exploded, especially with the pandemic. I'm like, one, where do these people like get this extra income that they can just throw, $20 at this lady to see her? Like, can't you just go to Reddit and see it for free? So it's like, I don't know. And
yeah, like there's so much porn you can watch out there. Like, I don't understand. I guess it's maybe the allure of like somebody that you I guess either know or yeah, I don't know.
Well, like the chick that do you remember the chick in the World Series that was standing, her and her friend were standing behind the pitcher's mound, like behind home plate, and they were showing their boobs and they got kicked out of.
Yeah.
I can't remember what her name is, Julie. I don't know. But she has this thing called Shag Mag, and it's basically naked photo. I mean, she's getting naked, right? And I saw her Patreon, and like to get Shag Mag, you have to donate $15 or $20 on Patreon, and it's like 250,000 people giving her $20 a month. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like how, like that is just absolutely crazy. But you know what? I guess Playboy made a living out of it. All those magazines kind of made a living out of it. But yeah, the guys, like as you as a podcaster and being in the public light, like I can remember when I had the two female co-hosts and we'd go live and the comments would be like, show your tits right now. And you're just like, boys, like, come on, like this, come on. It's all right.
Right. So you get like a little taste of it, right? It's ridiculous.
And I showed mine. I thought it was cool. Like I just lifted up my shirt. I was like, okay, what did that solve? Right.
You're like, let's go. Hey.
So, but yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah. I feel like that one was definitely, I was just like, oh God. Okay. Yeah. I got dared to butt chug a rum and eggnog.
Oh, okay. I mean, listen, I know that would be a weird video setup, but that's a feat. Cause who's going to look good on their hands and knees with their butt in the air? And I guess how are you chugging it? Is there like, you just have a funnel? So someone's going to have to pour the rum and eggnog in your butt.
Yeah. Or you put it in a bottle or something. I don't know. I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah. Well, but I'm more concerned with the logistics of it is all I'm just saying.
The logistics. Yeah, I know. I thought about it. I'm like, okay, if I was the type of person to do that, which I'll do a lot of things, but I'm not going to do that.
But who would do it? Like,
yeah, like what do I do? Like get my mom to like, hey mom, can you just go ahead and toss some beer bongs in my asshole? Thank you. Love you, mom. When's dinner ready?
Yeah, and isn't that would be true love too if she would do it, because she probably would, because she loves you. And you're like, mom, it's for the internet.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's just for the internet, mom.
She hates when I drink.
Oh yeah,
she hates it.
My mom's just always like, be careful. You're not going to drink and drive. Yeah. And I'm like, mom, no, I'm not. Like, I'm in a big fucking RV in a rink parking lot. Where am I going to drive to? Like, it's, you know?
Yeah, you're like, I was born in the morning, but not this morning. Shit.
Yeah, come on, mom. Okay, so we know. So the line so far is you'll do a lot of things. You're not going to do 11 days of brawn underwear and then at the end go full nude.
No.
You're not going to butt chug rum and eggnog.
No.
Maybe not. Like, that's still on the fence. Logistics wise, right? Okay. I mean. Listen, I'm just saying, maybe.
Let's leave that one up for interpretation.
Yeah, because like I said, if you can get the logistics to work out, then maybe it's a badass video. But like I said, I don't know too many people are going to be attractive in that video setup, right? And you always want to make yourself look good. You always want to make yourself look good.
Of course.
What really cracked me up about your last video, not that you were dressed up ridiculously and on rollerblades, but that you just stopped random people and said, "Am I giving you cheer?" And I was just like,
"Yeah." Well, that was a dare, right? Okay, so one of the fan favorite dares from, like, I think it was like April, June-ish time frame when I first started doing this was right when Tiger King had come out, and so I got dared to dress up with big exotic energy. So naturally, I went fucking full send, right? And to go do my errands. So it was the same girls that dared me to do, they're actually on my hockey team, that dared me to do this last one. They dared me to do that. And it was one of the funniest ones I did. And I don't know, like, I just don't really get that uncomfortable in front of people. And I just don't really, I'm like, what? I don't know, whatever. Like, I probably made your day, so whatever. So I don't know. I was going to like grocery stores, and I had to go to like Canadian Tire, and I went to Shoppers Drug Mart, and I was just dressed like Joe Exotic. And I just kept asking people if they think Carole Baskin killed her husband.
She said, that bitch.
That fucking bitch. Yeah, what do you think? Do you think she did it?
For sure. Hey, fun fact about me. I've been to Joe Exotic's park.
Stop.
90 minutes from where,
oh my God.
90 minutes from where I grew up. And we used to take field trips. We'd go down there, visit the park.
So have you seen him? Like, have you met him before?
I was young that I didn't really know that I was looking at but I've been to that park. I would say 3 times. I like to say I did eat the pizza, but I don't think that I really ate that pizza. But do I believe that Carole Baskin killed her husband? Well, let me tell you this. We did a Denver tournament, and that's where a lot of Joe's cats are now. They're in Denver. All of our draft tournaments have a theme, right? And the theme, we do jerseys. So we did a Joe Exotic theme. So there was like a Joe Exotic jersey, a Finley jersey, a Carole Baskin jersey. And then we had a jersey, and that jersey was the true killer of Dawn. And it was a tiger. So I think Carole Baskin for sure. She lathered him up.
Fed him to the tiger.
Lathered him up, fed him right to the old tiger. That's what I believe.
Shit. Did you, she was on Dancing with the Stars this past season.
Yeah, but I don't watch that. My wife is a dancer, not that kind of dancer.
Oh, okay.
But so I'm usually having to watch all the dance shows. But now that we've been married so long, now she's just like, just leave me alone. I want to watch it in peace. And I'm like, thank God. So yeah, she had told me that Carole Baskin, but she didn't know who Carole Baskin, because she's not watching the Tiger King.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was just like, I'm so cringy. I was so comfortable watching her.
Yeah, because she's a murderer and she got away with it, and it's bullshit.
I know.
You know what me and you need to do? Bring her to justice. Us, Kara and Nick, bringing Carole Baskin to justice.
Bringing her to justice.
Talk about
laying the law.
And we'll only do it on TikTok, and that's talk about viral.
Yeah.
Hey, how can you not go viral when you're the one that brings Carole Baskin to justice?
Yeah, I think you'd be pretty set for life.
That's what we're going for, right? Whole reason I got in this podcasting game, to get set for life.
Yeah, I love it.
But no, hey, I've probably taken up a lot of your time, and we could probably go for it. And we should do this more, more. We can come on the show more. And like I said, Cara's Corner. We can. Hey, you can even come in and try out for a co-host. We'll have and see. You would probably do pretty good since you're also judging. So I mean.
Oh, my name's at the top of the list. Yeah, she passes the check.
Sounds like
she's good. She's in.
Yeah. So who moved to the next round? Yeah, I think just Cara. Yeah, Cara moves to the next round for sure. But before we go, I just want to thank you for spending your time with me and just bullshitting, because that's what this show's about, an extension of the locker room, the dressing room, the parking lot, whatever. That's what the show's about. And I want to thank you for coming on and doing that. But before we go, one more time, just tell people where they can find your podcast and where they can find you personally, especially for those dudes that are looking for the unicorn, the chick that loves playing sports and slamming beers. I got her.
Yeah, what should we tell them to do, Nick? How should we tell them to slide into my DM?
If you're planning on sliding into Cara's DMs, stop listening right now. Okay. Okay. Now that they're not listening, because they do everything. Yeah. They literally take whatever I say as the word of God. So they're not listening.
Wow, you're like a prophet. Okay, I see you.
Basically, right?
Okay.
If they do slide into your DMs, I want to know about it, and I want to talk about it. We don't have to out them. Okay. We don't have to out them personally.
It would be like anonymous. Should we get them to tell me their secret?
Yeah.
Be like, hey.
Well, first I want to see what their
BLPA, and here's my biggest secret.
That would be a good one, but I want to see what that pickup line, like what that hook is, like what's that first, like, because obviously if a guy comes at you and he says, "Hey, what's up?" You're probably not answering that. Maybe you are.
Well, I'll go see if his profile's open and see if I like what I see. And then maybe.
Okay. So the number one rule here is if you're going to slide in the DMs, be attractive. And if you're not, if you're not attractive, at least be really funny. And if you're not attractive and you're funny, I want to know what that hook is. And then you reel them in and we find out secrets and we do that. That's part of Cara's Corner. She's going to out, she's going to out all the dudes.
It. So we're asking them for their best pickup lines.
Yeah, I think that's kind of played out on Tinder, but I wonder what the unsolicited, like, what's the first intro? Like, how do they get you to message them back? Is
that a question?
Yeah, I mean, that's my music. That's the stuff that I think about in my head.
Yeah, that is a really good question. I mean, honestly, like, I do respond to most DMs, especially if, like, they follow people that I know or something like that. Like, I will respond. I did have a couple marriage proposals after this video went viral.
Did you say yes to any of them?
No,
okay, just making sure.
I just, I let them down softly. But honestly, I truly just think, like, if you can make me laugh, that's huge. So sense of humor is big for me. So
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way that I've done anything in my life. Is just because I talk a lot and I'm semi-funny, right? So, yeah, it's perfect.
It works, right?
100%. But I wasn't really around, like, I was already locked down when Tinder came, right? So I didn't have to play in that game.
Wait, so how long have you been married for?
I got married in 2007.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I've
been locked down, and I'm a catch too. So I mean, she's pretty lucky.
Yeah, duh.
So I never had to deal with that, the Tinder, and I thought I would be way at a disadvantage because if I met a girl at a bar, I could usually charm her, like with just making jokes and making her laugh. But on Tinder, it's more of an attractiveness game, which is well below. I mean, I'm handsome, I get it, but well below my funny level, right? So,
you know what I will say? Like, you can usually tell when somebody's funny. Like, if we're going just off looks only, like, I can quickly swipe through, right? But usually, if I'm actually like looking and I'm taking my time going through it, and someone's like, pretty average to me, like. But they seem just like they're really funny or just really solid dudes, I will always swipe right and give them that opportunity. Not that I'm like above anybody or anything like that. That sounds bad, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit old school. Like, obviously for the past 9 months, I haven't been able to do this, but like, I don't know. I'll walk up to dudes and talk to them at the bar that I think that they're attractive or they have a good vibe. Like, I'm not afraid to do that.
See, you're the unicorn.
A lot of dudes don't like that though. I'll be honest with you. Like every guy says like, oh, I want a confident, driven like woman. And then when a confident, driven woman shows up, they don't know what to do.
Hey, listen, we're very simple organisms, us men, right? We say
Gonna flash my tits, right?
Yeah,
like we talked about.
You show a little skin. You tell us we're handsome. we're done. Like that's basically what you chug a beer. You out chug us. You're in, right? Or maybe those guys that are insecure, maybe you out chug them, they leave. I don't know, but all I'm saying is I think that there's a lot of guys out there, especially in the BLPA, looking for a hockey playing, sport loving, beer chugging woman, and why shouldn't that be you?
Okay, well, we'll see if they pass the vibe check, and then go from there. I'll keep you posted, Nick.
Perfect. That's all I'm asking. So tell them where they can find you, and then we'll get out of here, and you can, I guess, go back and rollerblade through the grocery store.
Okay, so like I said, you can find my podcast anywhere really that podcasts are streamed. It's called That Pretty Good Podcast, and I'm on Instagram at That Pretty Good Podcast. And then for my personal accounts on both TikTok and Instagram at Cara Di Bella, CARADIBELLA.
Yeah, go check her out because her TikToks are really good, and you'll get to see stories of herself embarrassing herself on dares. I might steal it. I might do some like Nick's tricks and make people dare me to do stuff.
I like that.
For sure. And so I was like, man, it's Cara and Dara's rhymes. How can I get a rhyming thing, right?
Right.
And so maybe I'll do that. I like the charity aspect of it. But thanks for your time, and thanks for being now like our special guest, now our guest host and judge and all of our stuff, co-host on Beer League. What was it? Beer League Blades of Glory. Is that what it is?
No, Beer League Battle of the
Blades, right. Where you can't skate, you just take off your blades and start stabbing people.
God, I want nothing to do with that.
Well, you just get to watch. So, all right.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that either, but okay.
All right, Carol. Hey, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be in touch, and thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you, Nick, so much for having me on the podcast. It was an absolute pleasure. Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you. My pleasure. All right, that was Cara. I hope you enjoyed her. Guys, like she said, shoot your shot. I mean, she's the unicorn. Good looking girl, plays a lot of sports, probably out chugs you on the beer scene. So do what you got to do. So hopefully we'll get Cara on. I mean, me and Cara have been talking about bringing her on some more, doing some cool segments. So look for more of Cara. If you want to be on the podcast, if you have a story, or if you want to try out for a co-host, all you got to do is slide into my DMs at the BLPA on every single social media network, and at Nicker Jones on Twitter, the Nicker Jones on Instagram. And until next week, you guys have a good week. Follow the Nick and Co show, soon to be something else. But hey, hope you guys enjoyed Cara. And next week we have a couple other co-host possibilities, nominees coming on. We have Trish Angle coming on for sure, and we're working on another one. So be on the lookout for that. When we bring you anything that has to do with Beer League, you're going to find it with us in the Beer League Players Association and on this show. All right, guys, good week. We'll talk to you later. Be good or be good at it.